The U.S. military says it believes some 60 al-Shabaab militants have been killed by one of its airstrikes in central Somalia. In a statement released, the army says the precision strike did not injure or kill any civilian. The attack was carried out as part of a joint effort by Somali forces to hit the al-Shabaab group. This is the deadliest airstrike since November 2017, when 100 militants were killed. Al-Shabaab, which is linked to Al-Qaeda, has not yet commented on this report. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has met with his Russian counterpart, President Vladimir Putin. The two met in Sochi to sign fundamental agreements that will benefit both countries. The Kremlin had announced that the two presidents will discuss the resumption of direct charter flights from Russia to the resort town Sharm el-Sheikh and Hurghada. But earlier in April this year, Russian flag carrier Aeroflot restarted flights to Egypt's capital, Cairo. And the United Nations Refugee Agency, UNHCR, says it is concerned by the fast-developing humanitarian situation in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, sparked by mass returns from Angola over the past 2 weeks. This return of Congolese who had been working with the informal mining sector came after the Angolan government issued an order to expel them. The spokesperson for the UNHCR says the mass expulsions are contrary to obligations under the African Charter, asking that both sides respect the human rights of all those affected.
The UN Refugee Agency is concerned by a fast-developing humanitarian situation in the Kasai region of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, sparked by mass returns from Angola over the last 2 weeks. Congolese government officials estimate that some 200,000 nationals have arrived in Kasai province alone, with more arrivals reported in the neighboring Kasai Central province. Their arrival follows an expulsion order by the authorities in Angola targeting migrants. The Congolese were working in the informal mining sector in the northeast of Angola before being asked to leave.
The government plan that allows refugees live and work alongside host communities in Zambia is now helping both Congolese refugees and locals build businesses in the country's northern Katapala settlement. But under this program, residents have great access to farmland, farm inputs, financial and judicial services, among other provisions meant to help them develop themselves.
Mela Nwasa is working on a plot in Mantapala settlement, northern Zambia. Mela grows various vegetables and says this harvest will be the first since she and her family fled an armed attack on her village in the Democratic Republic of Congo to find safety across the border in Zambia. Like thousands of other refugees here, the 35-year-old arrived in Zambia in October last year after fleeing with her husband and 6 children.
I want to be able to grow extra crops to feed my family so I can support my children through farming.
We used to have to go to Ngelenge market, which is very far away. Now it is easier because we can go to the settlements, sell, and come back home again quickly.
Mantapala settlement is an 8,000-hectare site in Luapula province, near the border with DRC, set up by the Zambian government, the UN Refugee Agency, UNHCR, and other partners to accommodate refugees. Built around existing farmland, the site is now home to over 10,000 Congolese refugees and around 5,000 local Zambians, the majority being farmers, traders, and artisans.
The refugee story that has been told over and over again is that refugees will always rely on support. But this is far from the truth. There's another story that needs to be told, that refugees have human capacities that if given the potential to engage, they will actually be of benefit to the local economies.
Zambia has included refugees in its national development plan to enable them and their hosts benefit from investment opportunities in the region. The program is meant to promote coexistence between refugees and host communities. Farming households like Mellers are allocated half a hectare of land and are also able to access markets to sell their products. Farmers are also given seedlings, farm tools, and training. According to the United Nations, over 700,000 Congolese refugees now live in sub-Saharan Africa.
Well, back here in Nigeria, the ENUGU state government has set up a 9-man committee to deal with issues of encroachment of structures and activities on the grounds of Akano ABM International Airport. At the team's inauguration, the state deputy governor pointed out that this action to rid the airport space of intrusion is in keeping with safety standards.
March 5th, 2018. The Minister of State for Aviation arrives to inspect the newly resurfaced Akano Ibiam Airport runway in Enugu State, southeast Nigeria. He relays his findings to his host, the governor of the state.
The contractor has not finished because we needed to acquire more land, at least 1 kilometer either side of the runway. The runway 26, 1 kilometer, and runway 08 also 1 kilometer.
7 months down the line, a committee is being inaugurated to make the recommendations a reality.
This all-encompassing committee will finally deal with all issues relating to the encroachment of land around the runway of the Akano Ibiam International Airport and other related matters, and advise the government on all necessary steps to be taken to ensure full safety operation of the airport, which include the relocation of the mats to a new site.
We'll do it with the speed required to ensure that we play our own little part in supporting the state government's commitment to ensure full operational activities at the airport.
For the airport manager, who says work on relocating the mast has already begun, the efforts of the committee will put problems of poor lighting to rest.
At the moment, we have lights at the edges of the runway and the ends of the runway, but we don't have the one that extends beyond 1 kilometer from the end of the runway, and that is very critical. At one end of the runway, which is the 26, you have a market that is still there. That one will still impede the installation of the approach light in that area.
According to the Minister of State for Aviation, only if these changes are made can the airport operate more than daytime flying in true international style.
Still to come on the program. Tanzania says it will not seek foreign assistance in its investigation over the abduction of billionaire Mohammed Dewji. Please stay with us.